Welcome to Quest Head of Physics students. I am Mr. Ahmed. I am explaining about the resistors today. Okay, students. Resistor. What is resistor? We have to understand. Simply, we can say resist means what? Trying to stop. Anything which tries to stop can be used or can be said by a word resist. The same thing happens with this electrical or electronic device students. A resistor is a passive element connected in a electric circuit. Okay, students. A resistor is a passive element which is connected in a circuit. How you connect it? If you see any resistor, it consists of two terminal students. We can further define it like this. A resistor is a two-terminal passive electrical element which is connected in a circuit. Here I am stressing the word. What is passive? Passive element. If you go with the circuits, we come across with the two types of elements. One is the active element and second is the passive. First we go with the passive. What passive element do? It absorbs the energy. It absorbs the electrical energy. And also it dissipates the energy in the circuit. Dissipating means what? Release. It releases the energy in the circuit. I hope you are understanding. What is a resistor is? Whenever a resistor is connected in a circuit, not only it stops the flow of the current, but also being a passive element, it releases the energy into the circuit. That's why if you are using your mobile phone for a longer time, it gets heated up. Means what? Resistors which are in that mobile circuit are releasing the energy. Contrary, the active element gives the energy to the circuit. See the difference, students. Active elements give the energy to the circuit, where passive elements release the energy to the circuit. Come back to the resistors again. Okay, students. I said resistor is a two-terminal device, which is an passive electrical element. Okay, students. And what is the function of the resistor? We have to understand. Here, I already told you, it opposes the flow of the current. And what is the flow of the current, students? What is the current? Electric current. You learn that current is nothing but the rate of charges in given interval of the time. Rate of charges in given interval of the time. Okay, students. Here the charges may be the electrons or the positive ions. Generally, current flows, we make the current flow through the solids, where we take the electrons as the charges. Okay, students. If we go with the electrolytes, that means solutions. In that, positive ions also flows. It's a different thing. Okay, students. In electric circuits or in daily used electric appliances, we use the resistor, students. In LED TVs, we use the resistors because LED, you know that, light emitting diodes are very sensitive one, and the light variations will come when current will fluctuate. To avoid the fluctuation of the current, I mean voltage, we use the resistors to regulate regularize the voltage students. Okay, that's why we call resistors as LDRs also. Okay, students. And how a resistor is represented? See, generally, a resistor is represented by a zigzag line. It is it, students? Does it look like a zigzag? Okay, it is the representation of a resistor by zigzag, and it is the lead. Okay, here in this way current is flowing. This kind of resistors are generally used in Northern America, students. Northern America. In Northern America, we use these kind of resistors. But what about the other countries? Generally, resistor is represented with a rectangular cylinder. Asia, we belong to Asia, students, and also in Europe. Asian countries and Europe use this symbol for the resistor, students. Here, what is this? It is the symbolic representation of resistor. Okay, students. Here, it regularizes the current. Okay, students. Resistor regularize the current. So, being a physical quantity, the resistance, it must have the unit also. Is it the students? Unit is the measure of a physical quantity. Resistor means what? Current. Here. Here, resistor's ability of regularizing current is said as the resistance. Okay, students. This resistance is measured in ohm. Okay, students. This resistance is measured in ohm. Ohm is the SI unit of resistance, students. Ohm is the SI unit of resistance. And it is symbolized as like this, student. This is the symbol of the resistance. It is a Greek letter and we read it as the omega. Is it, students? But here we are reading as ohm. Okay, students. You see, here the resistance varies in different values. I mean, the resistance of the resistors is ranging with different values from milliohm to kilo ohm, students. Milliohms to kilo ohms. Okay, it ranges from milliohm to kilo ohm, students. Then after we have to know what material we use to make the resistors. Generally, copper is used to make the resistor, students. Copper. In the same way, carbon is also a material which is used to make the resistor, students. Okay, students. Then after we will learn about the color coding of the resistor, students. If you see any resistor, it has a color code, students. Okay, students. Okay, students. Not only the work of the resistor is to oppose the current in the circuit, students. Okay, students. Resistors also used to drop the potential, students. In coming video, you will learn about what is the potential and as well as the Ohm's law, students. It is the basic about what is the resistor. How a resistor looks, I told you. It is shown with the zigzag. The same way in Asian countries, we represent with a cylinder, students. If you see a resistor, okay, here it has the different bands on, students. It has different color bands over the resistor. These color bands indicates the resistance of the resistor, students. Generally we go with a resistor. Okay, I'm taking a cylindrical, a ceramic resistor. Okay, students. A resistor seems like the students. It has the four rings over. The first ring here G is a green, students. It is painted in green, students. And the second ring is blue, students. And the third one, as usual, it is red. And G is golden. Okay, we have, if you see, a resistor, you will find these four rings, students. Here, first one is the green, second is the blue, third is the red, and fourth is the gold. Okay, students. Here, these symbols represents the resistance offered by this resistor, students. What G stands for? G means, if you see the table of the resistances, you will find G as, okay, students, 5. Second, blue, it is 6. The third one, red, is the multiplication factor, it is 10 square. Okay, these two are the significant figures, students. And it is the multiplication factor, students. And finally, golden is what's that? Tolerance we call. Okay, students. G is known as the golden is known as the tolerance. It is plus or minus 5%, students. Here, G and B, these are the significant figures. Here, 10 square is the multiplication factor and it is the tolerance. Okay, students. Then how can we measure? Here, and that is shown in this way. A G, B, or G. Yeah, measure. We have to take the value of the G, students, and put it with the 5. And significant figures, I said. 6 multiplied with multiplication factor, I said. 10 square and plus or minus 5%. What's the, students? It is 5, 6. You have to write it as the 56 into 10 square plus or minus 5%. 56 into 10 square. It is 5600. Okay, plus or minus 5% of 5600 gives, it is 280, students. Okay, students. If you go with this, it is 5600 plus, I am taking the plus. It is 5880 ohm. And if you go with the minus, it is or 5, okay students, 3, 2, 0 ohm. That means this resistance varying in between 5880 ohm to 5320 ohm. These values can be found on the table students. Okay students, it is the story about the resistor students. Simply, resistance is the resistor. Resistor is an active element, has two terminals which opposes the flow of the current. Okay, the ability of what is that resisting the current is said as the resistance, which is measured in ohm. Ohm is the SI unit of resistance, named after Mr. French scientist. Okay, students. Simon Ohm is not only a physicist but also a great mathematician. I hope you followed the video in the right way. If you like the video, please forward this video to your friends and don't forget to subscribe the channel. Thank you for watching Quest Physics Studio.